You heard that right, Houday Nation. That guy right there, Dalton Risner, has been signed to a 1 year, $5 million deal with the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is huge. I was waiting to make this video after his full press conference came out and the full details of his contract, but now that we have that information, I thought this was the best time as ever to come on here and talk about my opinions on this and why it is such a great thing to bring back Dalton Risner. I did not know this, but this is the first time in the Joe Burrow era and also the Zach Taylor era, so that will be since 2019, that the Bengals O-line will not change from season to season. And what that tells me is that the coaching staff and Joe Burrow is very confident in this O-line, just as I am. We've already talked about in videos previous why this O-line was so much more successful than in years previous, and a lot of that to do is with Dalton Risner. Now I'm going to talk about Dalton himself and why I think he's important to this Bengals locker room. So I was watching his press conference today, and they talked about at length, Dalton did, about how great the Bengals staff is and how great the Bengals organization is and how great everyone of the players is on the Bengals team. Talking about Joe Burrow and calling and FaceTiming him and how amazing he was to Dalton and how he was advocating for Dalton to come back. Him having an extensive conversation with Amarius Mims about how they wanted to play together, and with Ted Karras. All these players talking about how great Dalton is, and Dalton speaking as highly as he was to them, and also to the O-line coach, and to Duke Tobin, and to Zach Taylor, even though we don't speak highly of them, speaks so high of his character. How he worked his ass off as a free agent, not knowing if he was going to be able to play in the NFL, to now being on the Bengals and calling that home. That speaks a lot to Dalton, and it speaks a lot about how he is going to be an asset on the Bengals. He wants not only to play, he wants to play for the Bengals. You got to hear that again. He wants to play for the Bengals. He doesn't want to play football. He wants to play for our franchise. And I think if you want a player on your team, that's the kind of player and the kind of mentality you want. A guy who wants to play for your franchise. And that's why this is so important. And I was a little confused about a 1 year deal. I thought we were going to get a 2 year deal at minimum, maybe even a 3 year deal. The fact that it was just 1 year puts me off a little bit, but I think there's a reason. We signed him to a 1 year, $5 million deal, and then we can sign him again next year. But I think the reason we did it so small is because we want to make splashes this offseason. We keep more cap room so we can get more players. I don't think that means we're going to try to re-sign Trey Hendrickson. I don't think that is smart for the franchise. I have advocated at length about how I want to tag and trade him, and we only have 1 day to do that. But I do think that the reason they only did a 1 year deal is so that we can make more splashes in the offseason and get more players to help out this defense. With that being said, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and follow and leave a comment down below about how happy you are, or if you're not happy for bringing back Dalton Risner. I don't know why you wouldn't be. But again, congrats to Dalton, congrats to his wife and to his family and to the Bengals organization for making a great move that's going to help this franchise. Take care, everyone. Houday.